John Page, better known as I Knight.
Sammy, better known as Speedball or C Note.
Eric, C.O. Dub, Cowboy.
Cal.
Cal, C.O. Dub.
And Rob, laid backness, what they call me.
And we're Techni Crew / Ill Fated. Started off as Techni Crew, turned into Ill Fated, for those that don't know.
That's it right there, yep.
Enter in the 916, cause I made up the dope mix and got together the all-stars to kick a little something funky just to make you realize Sac is coming out. Surprise!
So where did you guys all grow up? Were you from different parts of Sac?
Correct.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much all over. I started off in the north area. Same with like Rob here. We went to school together, and then through mutual friends, I met Speedball, which he was living in the north area at the time, over in Westgate. And then he had already knew Cal, and Cal lived in the south area, so that's how we hooked up with Cal. So we hooked up with a few, just like recording sessions. And then eventually this became a group, just decided to stick together and work together as a group.
That's what's up. So you
Yeah.
saw each other out on the streets rapping, freestyling, or
Yeah, because we were already into music. Me and Rob had started off the Techni Crew. We were like a breakdancing group, or popping, I should say, because we didn't really break. So we started off doing that, but I was looking to get into producing and doing music and DJing, but we just didn't have the money. So that you got to figure this is mid '80s. I didn't have a job. I was in high school playing sports, really big into sports. So I just said, okay, one day I want to transition into doing music. So we didn't take the popping and all that serious. So we just kind of transitioned over into the music scene.
Right, that was a phase.
Yeah.
The dancing part was a phase, but it went along with the music at that time, right? The hip hop. So you just kind of, if you had the hunger and desire to stick with it, that's what you were doing. You were phasing into what was on the scene already, the hip hop shit.
Yeah, because I remember when we first started, we used to set up in Rob's garage over in Northgate. Rob and this Greg and Tim. Yeah, and we would have match turntables. They weren't even 1200s. They were like regular Zenith and RCA or whatever, just weird stuff. And but got to start somewhere. You know what I mean?
Sessions at the Robinson Center.
Yeah.
In summer.
So Greg and Tim, they were the dancers?
No, they were just they were dancers too, but then they transitioned into the music side of it too. I mean, there's been a bunch of us over the years, like Larry Rodriguez. A lot of people know him DJing downtown. DJ Larry Rodriguez. He started off kind of like our manager. You got to figure, like I said, this was 83, 84, so a long time ago. You know what I mean? So he started off. There was Robert Sanchez that was a part of us in the beginning. Who else? So we started doing that. Then as we went on, we picked up Darton. He went by Kid Casanova. We worked with a lot of just different people over the years. Then eventually we got into where Mixla, formerly known as Count Mixla, but Mixla came on board. And then that's when we really kind of started to get our name known and get out there and stuff like that. So so over the years, we've probably had maybe about 15 different members in and out, you know what I mean? But this has been the core right here.
Dope. Has it always been Techni Crew?
Up until Ill Fated, yeah.
How'd you come up with that name, Techni Crew?
To be honest with you, the dance group was called Techni Crew. So we took it over. So I joined the group. Somebody else had it, right? So I just joined the group. Dude fell off who started it. I don't even know I can't even tell you his name right now. But he fell off. So we just kept the name and then just took it over into the music. And then eventually we changed it to Ill Fated just to kind of modernize it a little bit more.
What were some of the first songs that you guys put together? I know there was that first tape and record. It was like We the People. Was that going to be the name of the album that was?
Yeah, it was supposed to be.
Okay.
But it never came out. God, we had a song. What was that one called? That I Night Get Busy. Remember? We recorded it out there in Orange. Was it Citrus Heights or Orangeville? It was just on cassette. We never put it out or whatever. Remember, you had some homegirls from the south area came and got on the hook or whatever.
Is that right? I don't even remember.
He's like, that's too long ago.
And then we had remember that song, that Wah Wah Racing Fever?
Yeah.
That dude, we did one that was supposed to be on the soundtrack for this dude that does like BMX bike. He's a promoter of that big BMX bike racing. So he was putting together a compilation to do like this little BMX tour or whatever, but he had like rock on there, rap and all this and that. So he had got a hold of us. We did a song for that, but I lost contact with dude, so I don't even know if it came out, whatever happened to it or whatever. So, but we did, that was some of the, but we did a bunch of just a ton of stuff early. But the first stuff that we recorded that actually came out was I'm Not a Thug.
I'm not a thug, dope slanger or gang banger. I could hang, but yo, I got my own thing. I'm not joking or choking, I'm just loking up. Peep knowledge to what's being spoken up. I'm from a hood where the brothers didn't care. Intent to kill without a life to spare. The wrong kind of brotherhood, and they were down. But the fellas that were down are now not around. They either locked up, shot up, or out of luck. And half of the fools had to be young bucks. What's up, brother? We're killing one another. We're from the same root, same place, same color, not red or blue, just black and brown and proud. And for my brothers, I'm down. If you have to, if you just got to, come up, or this world will straight clock you like time, and you will pass on. Yo, there you go, step up for a checkup. People with a brother know the streets ain't the place to be. Give or take my message, and if it's too late, learn from your mistakes. I'm not a thug.
But yeah, so it was like, so we had did a bunch of stuff, and then we were recording like in our rooms and stuff, like doing the pre-production, trying to get the album together, and then finally, I don't want to jump the gun here, but then it kind of led up to the Inner 916, and then I kind of wanted to put everything together and get the album out because the single was doing really well, so I wanted to kind of ride that wave of the Inner 916 and hopefully, move some units with the album, you know what I mean? And so back then, cassettes were the big thing.
The usual, sir.
Even after 500 plays, our high-fidelity tape still delivers high fidelity. It's worth it.
So we were selling, we as far as like the Inner 916, that really hit, that probably hit first, big before, no, I take that back. The I'm Not a Thug EP did well. So we would sell out the wax, like in Tower Records. I remember selling out, there was a couple record stores in Frisco that we would sell out like 2 or 3 boxes really quick. And we couldn't keep up with the demand as far as like, manufacturing the records and stuff. So things were going good. And then we transitioned into the whole Inner 916, which became definitely a regional hit where it was played on 102. We made the #1 song for the day for a while on the top 9 at 9 for FM 102.
Battle of the New Jams. Enter 916 by the Sacktown Rap All-Stars. Going against the latest from Red Hot Chili Peppers. Give it away. And the results are, the winner is...
Sacktown Rap All-Stars.
Yeah, you've been in the valley, the big valley, better known as Sacktown. 916, don't be afraid, just open your mind.
916 was being the area code.
Forget what year that was, like 92 or something, 91, something like that. But I might be off on some of these dates,
No, I think you're about right. Because, it had to have been like 92, 93 maybe, in that area.
Yeah, 92, that Inner 916 tape dropped, and Danger Island, I want to say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we dropped Danger Island after that?
Yes, because Inter 916 was on Danger Island.
Yep. Okay.
Matter of fact, yeah, because the Inter 916 that they played on the radio was the remix. The original version was a little bit different, but yeah, so they were both on the album, you know. And so we were doing a lot of recording. We were doing shows and stuff. And plus, I was a DJ, so I was DJing at clubs. There was a club called, I think it was Nicky's, that one on Fruit Ridge in Franklin. Wasn't that Nicky's, Cal? I know we used to roll up there.
Yeah, I think that was the name of it.
Was it Nicky's? Or maybe I'm getting, because we used to do stuff up in Marysville. I might be getting confused with that one. But I was DJing around different places, so we were active. We were busy. You know what I mean? Trying to get our name, just mainly get our name out there. And like I said, going back to Mixula, he did a really good job on promoting us because he worked in record stores. Plus, he was on the radio, so that was definitely a benefit that really boosted us. So we started doing a lot of shows out of town. We started opening up for different bigger artists. We opened up for Hammer, NWA in Stockton. Coolio, hung out with him, hung out with King T, just a bunch of just different people, a lot of people from the Bay. So it was good times, but we just, we were hoping that one hit would just kind of get us to where we could sign a deal where we didn't have to come out with our own money, because we were talking about it earlier before this interview that we didn't have a lot of drug money like a lot of these other artists did at the time. I ain't trying to, rain on their parade. I mean, they do what they had to do, but we work a 9-to-5 job. So it's hard to, back then, I don't know what minimum wage was, like $5 or something. You're trying to work all week and then put it into getting product. And it's real expensive. Nowadays, it's a lot cheaper, you know what I mean? But we didn't have that money that a lot of these, we couldn't do the funky fat graphics and all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah. And even our studio time suffered too, because a lot of times we record and finish, but our stuff is stuck in the studio because we still owe the dude, so he wouldn't release our masters to us, it'd be 2 or 3 months later, you know what I mean?
So that first one, the I'm Not a Thug and It's the Joint, how many of those records did you guys press up, do you know? About 1,000?
I'd say roughly probably about 1,000, 500 to 1,000 maybe.
And the cassette tape, you think less in the tape or about the same?
That's a hard question, Ian. I couldn't even tell you.
Did we have cassettes?
Yeah, we had those little mini cassettes. Remember they were black and white?
Yeah, the little.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I couldn't even tell you. Let's just say 1,000.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
Okay. So for that project, first off, let's talk about I'm Not a Thug real quick. What was the message? I mean, obviously you're trying to let them know that that's not what was going on with TECHNI Crew. What's up with it? Can we talk
You want to touch on that?
Well, I had met John through my buddies who, Skeeter and Monty. I think I met you through Monty.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And so I do remember one day they asked me to rap and whatnot for you. Remember, I guess I was auditioning for him back in the days. I think I might have still been in high school at the time. And so, long story short, he gave me the topic, I'm Not a Thug, and I just jotted down some notes and we knocked it out.
Yeah, I think definitely, at that time, gangster rap was still kind of bubbling under. I mean, there were some gangster rap artists, but, everyone was still trying to not have that stigma attached to them as, you're from the streets, you're a thug, you're a gangbang or something like that. So with everyone kind of following that theme, we were like, I'm not a thug. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hard. Yeah,
And,
that's a hard message right there. Man.
Yeah. So we're, you're thinking pre-NWA, so, at that time it really wasn't the cool thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that was the thought behind that. One of my favorite ones, though, from that project was Action Pack.
Action pack, you know that. Getting hype with nothing to hold back. It's not just a job, it's an adventure. Deep game. I'm talking all the tenders, we can dance. And then romance. Not a one night stand, I want a chance. Not to offend ya, but to win ya. Let me tell it, and I'll be a bend ya.
Back kicks the cut before they're made on vinyl, but I don't mind much, so I guess I'm not a minor. All that matters to me is to keep the crowd dancing and moving and grooving. Grabbing my satisfaction, now it's humping when the beat is combined to mine. Take a break out for recess and rhyme when it's playtime. Pumping in the club and watch the people react. They'll dance to this and clap because it's action packed.
And I remember we didn't even have a sampler or anything back then, so the whole song is literally him scratching. He would, we went in the studio, he'd scratch a bit, boot, stop the tape, come back, scratch in another little 4-bar, come back, scratch in another, and we did the whole song that way, which was time consuming and stuff, but, we had to get it done, that's just the way, that drive was, what kept us going.
And I thought that it was a challenge for me when he gave me that topic about I'm not a thug. I thought that was a nice challenge for me.
So that's why I asked you to speak on it.
That's how pastor works.
I like that, man. Yeah, you were like the hardest one in the crew, yeah?
No.
Don't point at me.
These guys. No, I just was a freestyler. These guys are more the writers and whatnot, and so but eventually I thought it was a challenge for me to adapt, because at that time we was young and we used to just freestyle every day, all day, as a rapper. Like they said, we transitioned, through the culture from the dancing over to the rapping, because after we danced, we used to do the little circle cipher and stuff and just freestyle. And then once they challenged us, hey, we got action at doing the actual song, can you write something? So whatever topic he threw my way, I think the only topic I ever came up was the one Afraid of the Dark. Other than that, they came up with all the other topics.
Yeah. Like me and Sam, we've known each other, we go way back. Before even all this rap things, and, our families were pretty close. We first moved to Sacramento. We moved to Sacramento in like 1978. And I can't remember how long after that we met. We lived right across the street from each other, and that's how we met. But our family was very close. Like my big brothers hung out with his big brothers, and his little brothers. So we were family essentially. Like, so even before this whole rap thing. So when the whole rap thing hooked up, and he met John, he was like, hey, come over here and spit some, and that's how I ended up coming into the fold. But
and also I just want to add to Larry Motley, because he was a part of everyone. I had met Larry Motley, who goes by Mott's, probably a few years earlier, but then he was close to Eric and Sam, so then I got reacquainted with him afterwards as well. So he's been around with us well, even to this day. Mott's, he did a lot of singing on a lot of our early stuff back then and stuff. So, but yeah, and kind of touch on what they were saying too, because they lived in the South area, and you got to remember, like the whole gang scene in Sacramento is strong now. It was really strong then too. In California, and then definitely I know in LA and all that, but in Sacramento. So, you have to kind of be careful on where you went and did parties, or even if you were going to go and rap at a party, you have to be careful and kind of just know, either know someone there or just, you got to know the situation, especially me. I had 1200s, TECHNI 1200 turntables, so I had to be careful on but I will say this, I thank God that I was blessed to be able to DJ in every hood in Sacramento and not run into any issues. Me personally, I survived it. You know what I mean? So I'm going in, Oak Park Heights, Meadowview, everything, Gardens, and there's fights would break out, shootings and all that. But I managed to get up out of there. Was a DJ at this club in the Heights called The Spot. And so it was fireworks and this is before they built that police station out there, you know what I mean? So it was a lot worse. So fireworks every week, but when they just get to shooting, you just duck down and wait till they get done,
Shout out to Conscious Vibes.
Yep.
Andre Henley.
Over at The Spot.
So we had to kind of watch that. So that kind of tied into the whole I'm not a thug thing too. So it's kind of C or whatever. So I remember what was that street you lived on? Kenworthy, was it? Cal?
Yeah, right off of Meadowbrook.
And so I remember doing something like a little garage thing. We'd roll up the garage and I was DJing a little party or whatever. And it's like, nowadays you definitely can't do that. You know what I mean? And back then I was a little leery, I'll be honest with you, but nothing happened or whatever. But you could tell it was in the air, you know what I mean, around there. So it was good old days.
Yeah.
Something I could tell my grandkids, you know what I mean?
So Brian, he was the executive producer for that first record you guys put out?
Brian Edwards, BMW, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to him too. We still talk to him every now and then on Facebook.
Oh, that's what's up.
So he basically helped get that off the ground.
Yeah, he worked a 9 to 5 like we did, but he just had a better job than we did. So he was able to help us out financially, and so we helped him out as far as like producing a track for him. Cal wrote some lyrics for him, so he kind of became a part of the crew. And so it was kind of like, he helped us out, we helped him out, same thing or whatever.
So here we are, youngsters, right? And from what about 18, 19, and up, something like that. And we all had little gigs, and we would put our money together to make all this thing happen.
That's it.
Yeah, like you were saying, that just desire to do it. You know what I mean? It was, it was a passion thing. I mean, I think we all wish we got rich off of it, but that really wasn't what was the driving force.
Yeah, exactly.
It was just, the culture and, having something to say and being put out there.
That's what's up.
That's it. And then also going back to, Rob was always there with me too, as far as like when I'm DJing, because we used to DJ at the NCO club on McClellan. Every week, and all of us would all get together and, hey, can you get me in? Can you get me in? I'm walking up in there, me and Rob, my record crates and stuff, and got 10 folks trying to get in just so they don't have to pay the cover. You know what I mean? But it was all good.
And
but those were good old times.
And we were underage.
Don't put that on camera.
I mean, I wasn't, but you know what I mean? I'm older than them, but so it was cool. I mean, it was a lot of people up there, but we was able to spin on records, you know what I mean? So that's one good way to promote, you know what I mean? And we performed up there too, and stuff like that. State Fair, we performed up there before.
A lot of state fair car shows.
Forgot about the car shows.
The car shows, yeah.
That's right. We opened up for a lighter shade of brown as well at Cal Expo.
Right. You were saying that show with the Beat Boys, was that one of your first shows?
Which
that
one?
Red Flyer. It was like you guys.
Oh, that's right. Yes, it was. It was. That was what. I'm not sure if you guys were in the group then. It was with Darton and Lisa. Remember Lisa Corona? It was us three. It was out in Citrus Heights. Yeah. H Wood.
Was that at that community center?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. That was probably our first show together.
Yeah.
Citrus Heights?
I already remember me and Sam.
Yeah.
What's the name of that? Rush Park.
Rapping there. Yeah.
Rush Park, huh?
I think that was the first time we performed together.
Okay.
I forgot all about that.
I can't remember what we did, but yeah.
Yeah, he said, it's been a while since I talked to H Wood, but he said he still has video of it. So I was like, man, let me get it. You know what I mean? I mean, it was terrible because, I'll be honest with you, but still, I'd like to see it. You know what I mean?
That's tight. All right. So, Sino, man, you went by MC Crush back in the day?
Yes, MC Crush. I had watched the Crush Groove movie that had came out. I just liked to do words, so as soon as I had the opportunity, as soon as he blessed me with the opportunity and the platform, then I came up with that name. Because before that, remember, we were Sir Flirt. We had the Flirt Crew.
Yeah, we had
which
little
was our own
crew.
dance crew. So they had their dance crew in the north. We had our dance crew in the south. And we had the Flirt Crew, and I was Sir Flirt. But we only just rapped in the little ciphers and freestyle and stuff. We never knew anyone like this who could give us a topic and put us on some wax and all of that.
Again, yeah, we were a dance group that was like kind of rap on the side, you know?
That seems like everybody's beginning story.
Yeah.
You got to remember, too, they was rapping and doing a lot of that before the ones that kind of hit it big out of the South Side. You know, the Sebos, the Lynches, and all that. He was school with Burbank with them, right? Or with Lynch at least. But so he was down there around that time as well. And that's when I was used to run with Daryl Dennis too, which she lived like right around that area as well. So a lot of it was just like connecting and just, you know.
Yeah, but the talent totally different. He was the real dancer and the real rapper.
Who's that?
What's his name? Brother Lynch.
Oh, okay.
He was the real dancer and the
I didn't
real
know he
rapper.
danced.
Yeah, he did this shit professionally since high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We just did it for fun. He actually performed for everyone. And
Oh,
all
okay.
that, yeah.
Okay.
You got any stories about that? You ever see any of that?
Oh yeah. We went to the same high school. Was from the same neighborhood, and he always had a lot of talent. He did all the flipping and back flips and all that type of stuff. He's a dancer, rapper, so he just had that persona back as from teenagers. He always was like an entertainer, and so we might have did it for fun, like sometimes, but he would do this daily, all day, every day.
Yeah, I met Lynch through him.
Totally different
back in the day.
type of a talent. Of course, you can see why. That's why he blew up. I didn't.
I just think he was a little more driven. Yeah, definitely.